With your Tackle HD fishing report for Stockton Lake, here's Luke Routh.
Hey everyone, Luke Routh here, wanting to bring you your fishing report for Stockton Lake. Had a heck of a weekend on Stockton Go. There got the win in the ABA, 22 pounds, over 22 pounds of bass. So it was one of those days of fishing you just can't replicate. Found me some offshore spots. Fish were really loaded up in their pre-spawn phase. Caught a few up on the bank on a jerkbait, so I think things are moving along nicely at Stockton right now. Main player this weekend was going to be a PBJ jig with a Tackle HD speed crawl on behind it. Good thing about this jig, it's half living rubber, half silicone skirt. I think that got me a few extra bites at living rubber flaring out. Speed crawl on the back end, good action swimming along the bottom. So this was a deadly combination. See the tag line, I went out and snipped it off my rod right here. This caught 2 or 3 of my big ones on the weekend. I wouldn't be able to do it without this jig. Caught the rest of my fish on a jerkbait. Out over these spots, some brush piles, some rock spots. Just really fished a jerkbait a lot. The fish I was fishing for weren't super deep, so I was able to use that jerkbait, set it over their head. They were coming up and whistling for it. If you guys want to, the video's over on my YouTube channel at Luke Routh Fishing. It shows a heck of a day fishing on Stockton Lake, and you can see exactly how I fish these baits. But heard some other guys talking about some crankbaits going on up the river, so you know, the crankhead probably would have worked. I didn't ever get to go crankhead. I was too busy catching the fish I was catching. But crankhead, water did get stained. I got up kind of where the stained water was. It was 48 degrees, about 1.5 feet of clarity up by Birch Branch. So anywhere up in there, I'm sure crankbait would have worked. Back to Suns Creek, but I never got a chance to try it. I was more Maine to mid-lake out messing around. So umbrella rig, still catching a lot of fish on an A-rig. Coming over, fill up the A-rig with the Tackle HD swimmers. You can't go wrong there. Heard a lot of fish coming, throwing your A-rigs at the bank. Seems like the fish are moving up all over the lake, so if you get a chance to come to Stockton Lake, I don't know what this cold front we got outside now is doing to them, but I feel like they were really starting to move up. I feel like we're a couple weeks away from that really good spring bite we all always dream about. We're just a couple weeks away. Water temp, I seen 44 in a lot of places, and I seen 48 when I got to the dirtier, more stained water. I never really did a lot of fishing in the stained water, so I stayed out in that 44 zone. I caught fish everywhere I went, guys. I fished from the main lake all the way down, say, to Titanic Rock, Birch Branch, and I caught fish all the way along the way. It was a really, really fun day. Nothing special on the jerkbait, guys. I was seeing, it was so windy that day, I was seeing what I was throwing out on the live scope, but I was really just fishing a jerkbait with my instincts. If I thought it was close, I'd let it sit there a little while longer. I never really got to actually scope anything, but to me right now, I'd have some jigs tied on going to Stockton Lake. Peanut butter and jelly was a color for me. I heard some guys saying green pumpkin orange. So if you're going over to Stockton Lake now, it's a great time to drag a jig, throw a stick bait. I think the fishing's heating up in general. So if you guys want to get out, catch a lot of fish, come on over to Stockton Lake. If you guys got any questions, you always DM me on Instagram at Luke Routh Fishing. And until next month's report, we'll see y'all later.